She wins the national title. First thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark.
Angel Reese just got ejected from a game for disrespecting officials. But you know what's even crazier? That's not even close to the most embarrassing thing she's done lately.
But remember the Chicago Sky, the national title winner at LSU. And she talked about where all this attention started with her and Caitlin Clark.
We're talking about a player who went from being the next big thing to becoming a walking, talking publicity stunt. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel. It makes such a huge difference to us. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Imagine this. You're at the top of your game and then suddenly you're more famous for your scandals than your skills. That's Angel Reese's story in a nutshell. In this video, we're gonna break down every step of her shocking downfall. It's a cautionary tale that'll make you think twice about chasing fame over talent.
Couple of words, I would have been fine with it. She's embraced the villain. She understands social media. She's done quite well. But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark.
Remember when Angel Reese was the talk of women's basketball? She was crushing it at LSU, putting up numbers that made everyone sit up and take notice. We're talking 23 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 assists per game in her final college season. Reese wasn't just good, she was dominating the court and making headlines left and right. But then something weird happened. Reese started focusing more on her Instagram feed than her jump shot. Her follower count was going up faster than her scoring average. By August 2023, she had over 2 million followers on Instagram. That's a lot of eyes watching her every move, but were they watching her play basketball or just double tapping her latest selfie?
Angel Reese spoke to the media. She didn't speak to the media after the game against Caitlin Clark.
Here's where things get crazy. While Reese was busy building her brand on social media, her on-court performance took a nosedive. In her 8th WNBA game, she was only averaging 13 points and 10 rebounds. That's a big drop from her college days. It's like she traded in her basketball skills for likes and comments. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? Lots of athletes are on social media. But here's the thing, like coaches and experts are getting worried. One commentator even said, Reese's decision to swap out dominating on the court for trying to dominate Instagram is just embarrassing. Ouch, that's gotta sting. But it's not just the experts who are shaking their heads. Fans are starting to notice too. One fan put it bluntly, people are talking about her, but not in the way you'd want. They're disappointed and rolling their eyes at her antics. It's like Reese forgot what made her famous in the first place, her skills on the court. So, what's the deal? Is Reese more interested in being an influencer than a baller? Her Instagram numbers are through the roof, but her basketball stats are in the basement. It's like she's playing 2 different games, and right now, social media is winning. Reese's Instagram game was strong, but she was about to take it to a whole new playing field. Picture this, a professional basketball player on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Sounds great, right? Well, not everyone thought so. The fallout from this cover shoot had the sports world buzzing for weeks. So Angel Reese landed herself a spot on the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. You'd think this would be a slam dunk for her career, right? Wrong. The moment those photos hit the internet, it was like someone threw a grenade into the women's basketball world. Fans were losing their minds, and not in a good way. Here's the deal. Reese went from rocking her LSU jersey to barely wearing anything at all. Talk about a 180. Some people were cheering her on, saying she looked amazing and was empowering herself. But a whole lot of others, they were shaking their heads so hard you'd think they were trying to unscrew them. One fan didn't hold back, saying she looked like she got into a fight with a pair of scissors and lost. Ouch, that's gotta sting worse than a hard foul on the court. And it wasn't just random people on the internet. Even some of her fellow athletes were side-eyeing her hard. Now, you might be thinking, what's the big deal? Athletes pose for magazines all the time. But here's where it gets tricky. The WNBA has been fighting for years to be taken seriously, to be seen as athletes first and not just eye candy. And then Reese comes along and, according to some, throws all that hard work out the window. WNBA officials were not happy campers. They were worried this whole swimsuit thing would make people focus on how players look instead of how they play. It's like Reese accidentally dribbled the ball right into the other team's hands. While Reese was busy heating up Instagram, another fire was brewing. growing. Remember that on-court beef with Caitlin Clark? Well, it didn't stay on the court. Reese took their rivalry to a whole new level, and the basketball world couldn't look away. Let's rewind to where it all started, the 2023 NCAA National Championship game. Reese and Clark were going head-to-head, and man, was it intense. Reese's taunting of Clark after the game, it wasn't just a moment, it was the spark that lit this whole rivalry on fire. But here's where things get wild. Reese couldn't seem to let it go. Long after the final buzzer, she kept coming at Clark through social media and interviews. It's like she was trying to keep the game going off the court. Fans were split. Some loved the drama, others thought Reese was taking it way too far. You'd think Reese would focus on her game, right? Nope. Kept bringing up Clark's name like it was her favorite word. One minute she's praising Clark, the next she's throwing shade. It was a roller coaster and everyone was along for the ride. The craziest part? Reese started calling herself the villain of women's basketball. Can you believe it? She's out here embracing the bad guy role like she's in a superhero movie. Some fans were eating it up, loving the drama. Others, they were over it, big time. But here's the thing, all this drama wasn't just annoying fans. The league was getting worried. Officials were side-eyeing Reese's antics, wondering if this was the kind of attention they wanted for women's basketball. It's like Reese forgot there's a line between healthy competition and just being petty. And get this, Reese's teammates weren't exactly thrilled either. Word on the street was that some of them were getting tired of the Reese and Clark show. They wanted to focus on playing ball, not dealing with social media beef. Just when you thought the drama couldn't get any crazier, Reese decided to up the ante. In a recent game against the New York Liberty, she did something so unexpected it had the whole arena holding their breath. What could possibly make a star player risk everything in the heat of the moment? Picture this. It's a tense game between the Chicago Sky and the New York Liberty. The clock's ticking down, and there's only about 2.5 minutes left. Reese is on the court, giving it her all. But then, out of nowhere, something snaps. Reese gets hit with not one, but 2 technical fouls. The first one, she apparently disrespectfully addressed the ref. Now, we've all seen players argue calls before, but Reese took it to another level, and just when everyone thought she'd cool off, she goes and does something even crazier. After that first tech, Reese waves her hand dismissively at the ref. It's like she's saying, whatever, I don't care. And boom, that's tech number 2. Before you know it, Reese is being escorted off the court. Can you believe it? A star player ejected in the final minutes of a crucial game. Now, you'd think her coach would be fuming, right? But here's the kicker. Chicago Sky's head coach Teresa Weatherspoon was just as confused as everyone else. She tried to get an explanation from the refs, but no dice. Weatherspoon was left standing there, probably thinking, what in the world just happened? Social media exploded after the game. Some fans were calling it a soft ejection, saying Reese didn't do anything to deserve getting thrown out. Others were more focused on her stats, pointing out that she wasn't exactly lighting up the scoreboard that night. But here's where it gets really interesting. The league actually took back that second technical foul later on. It's like they were saying, okay, maybe we overreacted a bit, but the damage was already done. Reese had been tossed from the game and everyone was talking about it. So what does this mean for Reese's future in the WNBA? Well, it's not looking great. Between the social media drama, the rivalry with Caitlin Clark, and now this ejection, Reese is building quite a reputation, and not the kind you want as a professional athlete. So here's the deal with Angel Reese. She's standing at a crossroads and it's time to make a choice. Will she double down on the drama and keep chasing those likes? Or will she remember why she picked up a basketball in the first place? The next few months are going to be crucial for her career. What do you think? Is Reese gonna turn things around and focus on her game, or is she too far down the social media rabbit hole? It's anyone's guess at this point, but one thing's for sure, the WNBA's got plenty of rising stars who are doing it right. They're letting their skills do the talking, and we're gonna dive into their stories next time. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.